All right. Hello, everyone. We're live 10 minutes early. I said I'd be live at 5:30. We're live at 5:20. Deal with it. So for those of you who are unaware, there was just a shooting in Canada at a place called Tumbler Ridge High School. Or was it a high school? 18-year-old. We're going to read the article. We're going to get into it. So this is an article from the AP. I just want to lay the groundwork for those of you who are unaware of what happened. Suspect in Canada's shooting is identified as 18-year-old with history of police visits to her home. Her home. Keep that in mind. It will be relevant. Vancouver, British Columbia, AP. The suspect in Canada's school shooting was an 18-year-old who had a history of police visits to her home to check on her mental health. Authorities said Wednesday, a day after the attack that killed 8 people in a part of remote British Columbia. Police said Jesse Van Rensselaer was found dead from an apartment self-inflicted wound following the assault on a school in a small mountain community of Tumbler Ridge. Royal Canadian Mounted Police Deputy Commissioner Dwayne McDonald said Van Rensselaer was first killed her mother and her stepbrother at the family home before attacking a nearby school. She had a history of mental health contacts with police, he said. The motive was unclear. Okay, motive was unclear. Police initially said 9 people were killed Tuesday, but McDonald clarified Wednesday that there were 8 fatalities. McDonald said the discrepancy arose from a victim who was airlifted to a medical center. Authorities mistakenly thought that person had died. More than 25 people were wounded. The town is near the border with Alberta. The town of 2,700 people in the Canadian Rockies is more than 1,000 kilometers, 600 miles northeast of Vancouver, near the border with Alberta. So I want you to notice a couple things. This person is obviously mentally unstable. This person has a history of mental health police contact, the police being called to the home of this person to check on them for mental health reasons. The article from the AP repeatedly refers to this person as a, quote, her, she. Let's look into that a little bit more. Here's what the local authorities had to say about the situation.
We're not hiding it. In fact, you're the first media to ask the question. I will say this. We identified the suspect as they chose to be identified in public and in social media. I can say that Jesse was born as a biological male who approximately, the information that I have, approximately 6 years ago began to transition to female and identified as female both socially and work.
Yeah, so let me clarify that there for the officer. Jesse was not born a biological male. Jesse is a biological male. That is a fact. There's no, they identify as a female. No, Jesse was a biological male who shot up a school and killed 8 people. Here's how they first referred to. Notice how he said how we had referred in the past or whatever. This is how they initially started referring to the shooter.
That includes the deceased gun person.
Okay.
The deceased gun person. Okay, gun person. And let's just rewatch that real quick. Watch how his eyes dart away because he's so terrified of misrepresenting this person.
Okay.
You see that?
Person.
Okay.
It's like instant. It's like not even a frame. He goes, the deceased gun person. Roll it one more time.
Gun person.
Okay.
Terrified. Terrified. That is a result of conditioning. This person took to social media. Holy shit, Canadian lesbian claims that mass shooter was the first victim after gunning down 35 people and killing 9. Blames the small community for its narrow mindset and bullying, as well as all of Canada for transphobia. Let's hear.
Was the shooter. As a person who went to school, had hateful comments directed my way. The first victim of this tragedy was the shooter.
I agree with this. I'm going to go on record right now and say I agree with this. The first victim was the shooter. Because we live in a society that takes small children and convinces them that they are something that they physically cannot be. That it is acceptable and okay, and more importantly, possible for a biological man to be born a man and then become a woman. It is impossible. But once you break the fourth wall on somebody and bend their mind to a point where they are convinced that the impossible is possible, there's not much left of their mind anymore. Anything is possible, and of course a proclivity to violence increases. Bending your mind in such a way that convinces you the impossible is possible and that you can be something that it is impossible for you to be, of course that's going to create a state of constant frustration and depression. And I can tell you firsthand, from having dealt with violent trans individuals for the past 4 years in the field, trans people are by far the most violent people I've had to deal with. Okay? Not only did a trans-influenced individual kill Charlie Kirk, but just hours after Charlie was murdered, I went to a vigil in Seattle at Westlake Park for Charlie Kirk. There were speakers. There was a pretty large crowd for Seattle. There was also agitators present on the fringes of the crowd, antagonizing and shouting things. Somebody shouted that Charlie deserved it, and I approached that person and recorded them. At a distance, not super close. I asked the person, why do you think Charlie deserved it? That person then ripped my phone out of my hand, stole it, punched me in the face, and then another individual came up and also punched me in the face repeatedly, smashing my glasses off of my face and breaking them. These are $400 Meta smart Ray-Bans. Both of the individuals were transgender. My stuff was destroyed. My face was beaten and bloody. Everywhere I go, it doesn't matter what city I'm in, the number one group of people who conduct and engage in violence against me is transgender individuals. Think about the people in positions of authority that had to have convinced this person that they are in fact a woman. We're going to get into some photos of this person in a little bit. But let's check out what society does to warp the minds of our youth. This is a CBS segment on young children who are transitioning and engaging in drag shows. Let's take a look. Drag kids.
I'm Bracken. I'm a 12-year-old hyper queen, meaning a 12-year-old female drag queen. My drag name is also my real name. Simple.
I'm Jason Kerr, and my drag name is Susan B. Anthony.
My name is Nemes. My drag name is Lactatia.
I'm Stefan, and my drag name is Lady Gaga.
Drag is a lot of things. Drag is a performing art, because you are the canvas.
It's showing who you are, but like we're singing and dancing.
Drag is just a self-expression and an art. You are the canvas. You do your own thing, and you perform.
A man transforms into a woman for entertainment, and a woman transforms into a man for entertainment.
Now, do we think that these children just woke up one day and naturally said, I want to dress up like a woman? Or do we think there were adults in their life that planted that little idea in their head and taught them to dress up like a woman? Which do we think it was? If my child wants to play hockey, does my child want to play hockey because they saw somebody else playing hockey? Or do you think they came out of the womb knowing what hockey was and wanting to engage in it? They probably saw somebody else doing it, thought it was cool, and wanted to do it. Probably a role model of theirs. Maybe somebody they look up to at school. Maybe their father. Does a child grow up wanting to hunt? Wanting to go out in the woods and hunt animals? Or do children begin wanting to hunt animals when they see their father doing it? Now, these are good and benign things, generally. It's a good thing to want to go out and be able to provide food for your family. It's a good thing to want to engage in sports and exercise. What happened here? What encouraged this? What seed was planted in their head? Who did they see engaging this activity? Why were they exposed to it in the first place? It's disgusting. It is a mental illness. If you are convinced that you can be something that it is impossible for you to be, that is the definition of mental illness. If you are convinced that you can be something that you can't, that it is impossible for you to be, that is the definition of mental illness. When somebody is diagnosed with schizophrenia, you don't say, the voices in your head are real, you should go kill that person. You say, you need to go see a doctor and get on medication so that the mental illness can go away. The doctor doesn't tell you the voices in your head are real and you should do what they're saying. The doctor says, here's a bottle of pills, we're going to try to make the voices go away. When you are bipolar, your doctor does not tell you your mood swings are normal, good, and okay. Continue on them. They give you medicine that make the mood swings stop. If you are anorexic or bulimic, your doctor does not tell you you are in fact fat. You should stop eating and continue purging your food and puking after dinner. Instead, the doctor gives you medicine and says, let's try to make these thoughts and this behavior go away. If you are convinced that you are transgender, if you are convinced that you are the opposite sex that you were born in, the doctor should not tell you, here's a bottle of pills that will change the hormonal composition of your body, and here's a referral for a surgery to have your balls cut off. If a doctor does that, they should be thrown in prison for medical malpractice. Because if the doctor who diagnosed somebody with anorexia told the person they were fat and should continue throwing up, they would be charged with medical malpractice and lose their license. If the doctor who diagnosed somebody with schizophrenia told them the voices in their head were real and they should act on them, they would be thrown in jail and lose their license. It shouldn't be any different in this case. It's the same thing. But for some reason, we've been convinced as a society through a mass indoctrination campaign and a mass propaganda campaign that in fact men can be women and that it's okay and they're a protected class and you can't make fun of them because it's mean and it's wrong. It's not wrong. It's not wrong to say that men can't be women. It's not wrong to not call somebody by their desired pronouns. If somebody to me insists that they're a lizard, I am not going to acknowledge them as a lizard just because they want to be called as a lizard, because they're not a lizard. Is this a lizard, guys? This is a man trying to be a lizard, but it's not a lizard. I know that. You know that. He knows that. This guy knows he's not a lizard. But for some reason, trans individuals have been convinced, and we as a society have been brainwashed to believe that they are in fact the sex they are claiming to be. That a man pretending to be a woman is in fact a woman, and there is no distinction between this woman and an actual woman. They're the same thing, with no differentiation. They're the same. They're not the same. Not even close. They're in fact opposites of each other. It doesn't matter if you've turned your penis inside out and flipped it up into your body, you're still not a woman. In fact, in this case, I think you're farther from a woman than you were prior. Okay? Let's take a look at what was going on at the school. So, somebody by the name of Jared Jaeger, who seems to be a Canadian journalist of some kind, obtained footage from the Tumbler Ridge school where this shooting took place. So we've got some people leaving the building with their hands up. Here they are running through the parking lot. This is the interesting one. Take a look at this. Play it from the beginning. Do you notice anything here? Let it run through again. Notice anything? Anything? I'll tell you what I notice. It's right here. You have the LGBTQ progress flag in the window of the school. To me, that signals that it's very likely this school is the root of the shooting that occurred. And I'm not blaming the school for the shooting that happened on it. But if this school and other schools like it and other adults and role models and figures of authority like it were not indoctrinating children to believe that they can in fact be the opposite sex, perhaps this shooting wouldn't have happened. Because again, if you can bend somebody's mind to a point where they believe that the impossible is possible, to the point where they believe that they are something that they physically are not, you have caused that person to be mentally ill. You have caused that person to have mental strife. Mental illness in a lot of cases is caused by the environment the person is put into. Post-traumatic stress disorder. How do you arrive at post-traumatic stress disorder? Are you born with post-traumatic stress disorder, or does something trigger it? Something caused it to develop? Of course something caused it to develop. You had to have some kind of trauma. It's post-traumatic stress disorder. Just one example. Most mental illnesses have a trigger of some kind. It's disgusting. I accidentally exited out of my thing there for a second. I just don't understand why it's acceptable for schools to push LGBTQ flags in their windows. Matt Walsh actually had a run-in with this person years ago. So here's Matt Walsh's initial tweet. He found Jesse, the shooter, posting something on Reddit. Here's what it says. How do I stop comparing myself to fictional characters? I am trans, male to female, pre-HRT, 15-year-old. 15-year-old. And I've been viewing a lot of anime-related content recently. Was never into it before. The characters are always so cute. I don't want to be 2D or anything like the characters themselves, but when it comes to their body shape and stuff, I often find myself comparing their semi-unrealistic yet still physically possible shape, specifically when it comes to height, BMI, obviously their chesticles. I'm super skinny, so that sometimes makes me feel kind of good, but I'm pre-HRT and my expectations are minimal for chest growth. I'm 6 foot tall. Why can't I be petite and small? Side note, if you know anywhere I could go to get into watching, or I should go to get into watching anime, that'd be nice. I never watched it before. Ooh woo. Matt Walsh says, I hate to say I told you so. The Males of Reddit says, never let your kids watch anime. Then the r/Vosh subreddit says, Matt Walsh quote tweets account that posted a person's adult content without permission. It's not an adult. It's a 15-year-old. As a form of targeted harassment. That account has over 50,000 followers, and many of them are underage. Again, this is a 15-year-old, not an adult. A 15-year-old at the time, by the way. Soon to be, in the future, school shooter. Reddit Live says, 3 years ago, Redditors on r/Vosh lost their minds over Matt Walsh quoting mails of Reddit's screenshot of JessieBoy347. You/JessieBoy347 just shot up a school in Tumbler Ridge, Canada yesterday. Matt Walsh says, I once again hate to tell you, I told you so. That kind of mental illness does not just happen. Okay? The thought that you can become a woman does not just happen. This is the result of grooming and conditioning. So, let's look at the shooter. Here we have the shooter with an AK-47, the alleged shooter, in the bathroom, wearing an internet princess tank top thing, spaghetti string, in a skirt and fishnet leggings with armpit hair. If this doesn't scream something went wrong along the line here, I don't know what does. We've got some more photos of the shooter. Here's a video of the shooter shooting a Desert Eagle at the gun range. Again, here's the shooter. A literal child in that photo. With a rifle. There are allegations of Satan worship. This is the allegedly a YouTube channel that belongs to Jesse Strang, who is allegedly the shooter. And this is apparently some satanic cult stuff. Blessed are the destroyers of false hope, for they are the true Messiah. Cursed are the God adorers, for they shall be shorn sheep. Chat, what do we think happened to this person? And I see people laughing in chat. It's not funny. Nothing about this is funny. We have a society that is conditioning literal children, the most malleable part of your life, that reality basically doesn't exist. Nothing's worth it. We have a declining society in terms of religion. People don't have anything to cling on to. They think you just die and that's it. There's nothing afterwards. Nothing really matters. Oh, I'll worship Satan. I shoot up a school, who cares? I can become a woman. We have the trans flag at school in the window. There was just a mass stabbing event. Oh, well, it's gone. Sorry. I guess we can't look at that. There was just a mass stabbing event in the UK. The Sun posted about it. They posted an article about it. They've deleted the article because people called them out on Twitter, I presume. It doesn't exist anymore. Pull it up right here. It's gone. So this is what happened is there was a stabbing where students were sprayed down with chemicals and then slashed in the throats with a knife by a student who allegedly screamed Allahu Akbar as he was killing them. Article doesn't exist anymore, conveniently. The Sun was called out on Twitter because they posted a tweet talking about it where they said that the person was shouting, but omitted the fact that their own article said that he was shouting Allahu Akbar. The NYPD hosted Hijab Day, where they had non-Muslim NYPD affiliates and officers put on hijabs to display inclusiveness. And here's a photo of that. Here's an officer in hijab putting a hijab on another non-Muslim officer. World Hijab Day. World Hijab Day was proudly celebrated in New York City, organized by the New York Police Department, NYPD. The 4th annual World Hijab Day event, hosted by the NYPD Community Affairs in collaboration with the community partners, was a meaningful demonstration of unity, faith, and inclusion. Heartfelt gratitude to Sergeant M.D. Latif for his dedication, leadership, and continued hard work in making this annual event possible. The celebration was especially inspiring as NYPD officers were seen proudly wearing the hijab, reflecting their ability to practice their faith while continuing to serve and protect their communities in moments like these that highlight the true strength of New York City, where diversity is not only acknowledged, but embraced. I think Haya hit it on the head here. This is a display of dominance. It's not inclusiveness. It is a display of dominance. And there should be no situation where NYPD officers are made to wear the religious garb of a religion to which they are not a part of. A school principal was caught in an email at OKC saying that he would be directing staff to guide and direct student protesters. So here we have the email from the principal. We have received information that a student walkout is planned at our school for Friday afternoon to protest ICE. OKC PS supports our students' rights to peacefully assemble and their freedom of expression. And we are working closely with students who wish to assemble so that they can ensure their safety as they express themselves regarding an issue that they are passionate about. Our mission is to keep the focus on teaching and learning while also providing guidance to support students and staff safely. An announcement will be made Friday morning regarding the expectations around the walkout to provide information and guidance to students who are planning to participate. Please know that administrators will be available to help direct any students who choose to walk out. We ask that all teachers who have class during this time remain in the classroom with students who have chosen not to participate in the walkout. Now, this comes on the heels of a Washington father being outraged by the fact that his student was forced and made to participate in a school-sanctioned protest against ICE. And it also comes on the heels of, in Issaquah, Washington, this happening, a mother being mobbed and attacked by a high school protest. This is a mother who just asked why they weren't in school. She walked by and she asked, "Why are you guys not in school?" This is their response. Violently mobbed and attacked by a pack of teenagers who were engaging in a school-sanctioned protest. There is no reality where schools should be sanctioning protests. Here's a mother who is having her young child aid her in the creation of a sign that says "Fuck ICE."
Burn-legged hoe, oh, Christy Nome is a burn-legged hoe. That hoe has got to go. Christy Nome is a burn-legged hoe. Christy Nome is a burn-legged hoe. Christy Nome is a...
Not only did she have her small child help her create a sign that says "Fuck ICE," she then recorded it and posted it on social media. Now, I'll tell you what, when I was this age, I wasn't even allowed to listen to songs with swear words in them. If I was caught listening to songs with swear words in them, I would have my speaker and phone taken away from me. or whatever it was that I was using to listen to 2 songs with swear words. Sometimes it was burnt CDs, depending on how young I was. I wasn't allowed. But here we are making a sign that says fuck ICE, because this is the new America. The woke mind virus has burrowed itself into the brains of every adult and child. In other news, apparently, according to Jennifer Jacobs, who is a CBS News senior White House reporter, the El Paso International Airport closed all flights for 10 days. I believe that cancellation was overturned almost immediately, but it was triggered by Mexican cartel drones breaching U.S. airspace, according to officials that then told CBS News, apparently. The War Department took action to disable the drones. I'll probably follow up with the Pentagon on that. I just need to reach out to one of the officials there, and maybe I can get some more information on that for you guys. Unemployment is at the lowest rate since 1996, according to The Blaze. Here's a graph. We're also experiencing extremely low homicide rates, or actually a record decrease in homicide under President Trump. The White House tweeted, "Shocker, the media forgot a key detail, so we fixed it for you." Cities with the largest drops in homicide rates, 24 to 2025. We've got minus 58.3% in Orlando, Florida. That's half. More than half of the murder rate was cut. Tampa Bay, Florida, same deal. Half the murder rate cut. More than half the murder rate cut. In Denver, almost half of the homicide rate is cut. Prince George County, Maryland, 40%. Seattle, 36%. That's where I live. Honolulu, minus 34%. Albuquerque, New Mexico, minus 34.3%. Columbus, Ohio, 33.3%. 32.1% in Washington, D.C. I would have thought that it would have been higher in Washington, D.C. and 31.4% in Baltimore. Washington, D.C. had, I believe it was the 4th highest murder rate in the entire country, which plummeted after Trump deployed the National Guard under Title 32 at his direction in Washington, D.C. And yes, Title 32, not Title 10. Title 32 deployments of the National Guard in Washington, D.C. report directly to the president, whereas that's typically done under Title 10, but Washington, D.C. is not a state, so Title 32 deployments, typically the National Guard reports to the governor, but because there is no governor of Washington, D.C., because it is not a state, they report to the president under Title 32, which means they can make arrests, by the way. Technically. I don't think it's been done, but technically they can. I wanted to go back to this, which was during the Grammys. Billie Eilish says that, of course, nobody's illegal on stolen land.
No one is illegal on stolen land.
Yeah, so cringe. So cringe. No one is illegal on stolen land. Okay, the land's not stolen. In the United States, we fought wars for this land. It is our land. It has been our land since 1776. We fought the American Revolution to earn the initial 13 colonies, and then we fought hordes of savage Native Americans for the rest of it. The rest of it that we didn't buy. And yes, savage. Absolutely savage. The Comanches murdered each other. They were brutal. Before we got here, before Europeans arrived here, the Native Americans were constantly fighting each other over that land. The idea that they didn't understand land ownership or territorial expansion, bullshit. They absolutely did. You learn about this in middle school. The territories that each of the tribes controlled, coalitions that they joined with each other. What's the one? I can't remember what it is. The one where it's, I think it's 7 tribes, and it's the same as like the pine needles. The clump of pine needles is like the symbol of their like coalition together. Why did they have to do that? Because they were all fighting each other before, and there were other tribes that wanted to fight them. Okay? The idea that they don't understand land ownership is bullshit. We fought a war for it. Okay? We purchased it, we fought wars for it, and we won it. It's ours. Sorry, I hate to break it to you. This is the case for every piece of land on planet Earth. Every piece of land on planet Earth has been conquered by somebody at some point. Any meaningful piece of land that people occupy anyway. The United States is the only power in the world that has repeatedly had the opportunity to take over the entire world. Stolen land. Stolen land. We just broke into Venezuela in the middle of the night, and in 2 hours, we stole their president. Don't give me this bullshit about America is just an imperial power. Oh, it's the American empire. You want to see an empire? If anyone's had the shot to take over the world, it's the United States of America. We control all of the trade routes. We act as a military defense force for half of the world. I'm not saying we should do it. I'm just saying you want to piss, bitch, and moan that the United States is an imperial power? You haven't seen anything. We went into Venezuela and took their president without gaining an inch of land. If the United States was a land-hungry imperial power, why didn't we take all of Venezuela? We certainly could have done it. It's just ridiculous. It's also a non sequitur. So, nobody is illegal on stolen land. Okay. The land can be stolen, and the land can have laws at the same time. Let's assume that the land is stolen. It still has laws. I'm sorry, there's a government here. That's undeniable. That government has laws. One of those laws happens to be 8 U.S. Code 1325, improper entry by alien, which expressly says that you cannot enter this country without permission of an immigration official or inspection. If you violate that, you are here illegally. And it's not just that you've done an illegal thing, it's that you are the continuation of an illegal act. Your presence in the United States is the continuation of an illegal act, and thus you, yourself, are illegal. Your existence here is illegal. You are illegal. Doesn't matter if the land's stolen or not. It's not. It was won, just like, again, every piece of land in human history. Do you think the Arabs? You think this is all? One second. You think this is where the Arabs are from? You think the Arabs are from all these places? This is where their ethnogenesis is in all of these places? All of North Africa, virtually all of the Middle East? Is this where Arabs are from? No, Arabs are from right here. They're from this little tiny part down here. Down here. In the boot of Saudi Arabia. That's where they're from. So how'd they get all the way out here? Well, by Billie Eilish's standard, they stole it all. But I don't see Billie Eilish whining about that. Why not? Arabs are one of the biggest colonial powers in the entire world. Their empire virtually still stands. The entire Middle East is, in essence, a caliphate except Israel. Same with North Africa. They might not be one tied and united entity, but they all practice the same things. They're all theocracies. Their laws are all based on religion. We don't have that here. You want to talk about stolen land, why don't you whine about the Middle East? Billie Eilish doesn't actually care. That's why. She's just another idiot celebrity who's looking for good girl points from her fans. She's not intelligent. She's not smart. She has no idea what the hell she's talking about, but she flaps her gums anyway. because that's what we do. I've got an idea. How about this? How about all celebrities, left, right, and center, shut the fuck up? How about that? That's the way I'd like. How about this? The political people talk about politics. The people who read books talk about politics. And the numbskulled idiot celebrities keep their mouths shut. Because we don't actually care. You know, if you're a celebrity and you're a Republican, most of the time you're still an idiot. Right? I don't care. I don't care what you have to say. You're too busy doing the things that you're good at. For granted. Right? You're too busy singing, you're too busy acting, making movies, doing productive things in the field that you're good at. So why don't you just stay in that field and not talk about politics? Now, in the world we live in, where every celebrity is a raging leftist or a moderate liberal at best, it's hard to say I don't appreciate when celebrities come out as conservatives, because I do. But I wish, if I had it my way, they'd all just be quiet. I'm not saying they should be forced to be quiet. I'm not saying they should be silenced. I'm just saying it'd probably be a little bit better if they shut up. Better for everybody, not just me, by the way. Better for them, too. Right? Because when I see Eminem going off and being a dumbass related to, and sorry for the language, guys. I'm just fired up. Going off about Trump and whatever. I don't want to listen to Eminem's music anymore. I just don't. Just shut up. I've got a video I wanted to respond to from Carl Emmerich.
How many times have you heard that Donald Trump and ICE are only going after the worst of the worst? Well, guess what? CBS, which under its new ownership is not exactly an anti-Trump outlet, they are now reporting that less than 14% of those arrested by ICE have a violent criminal record. These numbers are shocking and completely undermine the Trump administration's narrative. They come from an internal DHS document that was obtained by CBS and show of the nearly 400,000 immigrants detained by ICE in Trump's first year back in office, less than 14% of them had a violent criminal conviction or charge. And less than 2% of those arrested by ICE had a prior homicide or sexual assault charge or conviction. And then this is really shocking, nearly 40% of those arrested by ICE had no criminal record at all, not even non-violent offenses. They were only accused of civil immigration offenses. Here is...
Okay, I am so done. I'm so done with this push to claim that immigration offenses are just civil infractions. It's like getting a speeding ticket, which also, by the way, is not a civil infraction. Okay? A civil issue, a civil charge, are things you deal with in civil court through lawsuits. This is the law. Carl Emmerich says they're just accused of civil immigration crimes or civil immigration infractions. This is the federal code. 8 U.S. Code 1325, improper entry by alien. Let's read it together so we can get a little bit smarter. A, improper time or place, avoidance of examination or inspection, misrepresentation, and concealment of facts. Any alien who, 1, enters or attempts to enter the United States at any time or place other than is designated by immigration officers, or 2, eludes examination or inspection by immigration officers, or 3, attempts to enter or obtain entry to the United States by willfully false or misleading representation, or the willful concealment of material fact, shall, for the first commission of any such offense, be fined under Title 18 or imprisoned not more than 6 months or both, and for subsequent commission of any such offense, be fined under Title 18 or imprisoned not more than 2 years or both. Let's look at the penalties. I'm trying to find... I'm trying to find the category of crime. Maybe it doesn't have it on Cornell. Here, read on the Department of Justice. Why this is important is because this criminal code is, for the first time, a misdemeanor, which is a criminal offense. Don Lemon argued in a debate that a misdemeanor is not a criminal offense. It absolutely is. The second time you do it, it's a felony. Megyn Kelly is saying Epstein is alive. I don't know. I don't care. I don't care what Megyn Kelly is saying. To be totally frank and honest with you, I really don't care what Megyn Kelly is saying. The other part of Carl's video where he says only 14% of people that Trump is deporting are guilty of a crime other than a civil immigration infraction. Yeah, okay, I don't give a shit. Sorry, don't care. Okay, in fact, deport more of them. I don't care. Like, none of them are innocent. 100% of people who are illegal immigrants are in violation of one of two criminal codes. They have either violated 8 U.S. Code 1325, improper entry by alien, the law that we just read, or they're in violation of overstaying their visa. Every illegal immigrant is illegal. Every illegal immigrant is a criminal. Every illegal immigrant has committed a criminal act. They are all criminals. Deport all of them. I don't care if it's only 13% of illegal immigrants so far have been convicted of a bad crime. I don't care. All of them should be gone. All of them should be deported. It's no matter to me whether or not they've committed a crime on top of the crime they've already committed. They've still committed a crime initially. Their first action entering this country was blatantly disrespecting and disregarding the laws of this country. That's a problem for me. I don't want you in this country if your first action as a non-citizen entering this country was blatantly disrespecting and disregarding its laws. We're a nation of laws. Get out. We already went over the mother being attacked at the high school protest. And I think that's pretty much what I've got for you on this show, guys. It's a short show. Did you guys enjoy the show? Too many sensitive Sallys in this chat. Are there sensitive Sallys in the chat? Cam for president. I don't know about that one. I would not wish the presidency on my worst enemy. We have a lot of feelings. You do. Oh, well, what'd you guys think of the show? Who might get me? Good talk. Yeah, it was fun. And if you guys want to support me and help me, in the description of this live stream, you will find my Amazon wish list. You'll find my Venmo, my PayPal, and my Cash App. Those help me out a ton. I am only on YouTube. YouTube is the only... I don't know what I'm saying. I'm not only on YouTube. YouTube is my primary form of income. So I don't have a salary. I don't take a salary from any companies. I'm fully independent. My money comes from YouTube. So the donations and the help of the Amazon wishlist help out a lot. The Amazon wishlist has on it only things that help further the content and make better stuff for you guys. So I really appreciate it. That stuff is all down below. Cho shared a video from Lake Stevens, Washington, where a kid got jumped during one of these walkouts. Really? I'll have to text Cho about that and see if I can find it. I've seen Fox posting about the Signal Gate stuff. Love your channel. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you guys enjoyed the show. I'm glad that you guys had fun. I certainly did. I'm getting more spun up. More and more spun up every show I do. I get more and more spun up. Can you guys do I seem angry when I'm talking? I love your channel, Cam. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, BZ. Just sit here and chat with you guys for a little bit. Cam is a Mossad agent, though. Yeah, I'm a Mossad agent. I've got a Jew tunnel under my house. Ed, thanks for the super chat. This is simple. U.S. Constitution gives Congress power over immigration. Congress enacted immigration law. Illegal break that law. ICE enforces immigration law. Federal law is supreme in every state. Done. Absolutely. I don't have the signal lined up today. We can't. Let me see. I'll see if I can get into the signal chat. Just give me a second here. Let me see what I can do for you folks. I'm working on it. Just give me a second. Give me a second, guys. I think I found it. This is ridiculous. I can't believe we're doing this again. All right. Oh, that link's no longer valid. Just give me a second here, guys. I'll find it. I'm working on it. Ooh, these are no longer valid either. They've put requests on a lot of these. How about this? They're keeping the links only to DMs. So how about this? I'll get it ready, and maybe later this week we'll have a dispatch call for you guys. Actually, let me check. Let me just make sure I'm not in any real quick. If I'm in one. Yeah, I think we're cooked for now. I'll get one. It's just like you got to keep up with the links is a problem. So I'm kind of been bad at it. You have to every day they delete the chat, and then they send out a link for a new one. in that chat, but they turn the link for the existing chat off. So I can't like backtrack up and then go click the link to like one for 4 days ago and then like progress up the stairs to the current one because they turn the links off. So if you miss it for more than a day, you're out of the loop on the chat and you can't get in unless somebody sends it to you. So I'll get in, and maybe at some point during this week we'll have a dispatch call to have a little fun with. So I appreciate you guys. Make sure to check out the description for the ways you can help me. My security fund is down there. Like I said, the Amazon wish list, as well as